I like the way he gets those bounds down.
Oh, Mario Azonia throws it down right at Chris. And the Knicks bench responds.
Styling and profiling was Mario.
First off, well done to the Knicks front office. We won the Battle of the Tanks today. Congrats to Kadeem Allen. You keep playing like this, you might screw around and start for us. I liked DSJ's play today. Saw it was Kadeem's day and focused on defense, speeding up your transition, and passing. And that is what I want to see from a player who's been criticized constantly for being a selfish player and a bad defender. 10 points, only on 5 for 12 shooting, 3 steals, 4 assists, and 2 blocks, so is what I'm really happy about. So I've liked what I've seen so far. Looks much closer to a winning player than many Mavs fans really made him out to be. Trier still seems to be struggling though. Trier more than Dot, just because you can see how frustrated Trier is. If he doesn't get a call, you will always see him be the last player back on defense because he's complaining to the ref, and that is just not acceptable. DeAndre Jordan was DeAndre Jordan and set good screens, rebounded, not a bad on-ball defender for bigger guys that overpower a Mitchell Robinson or a Luke Cornett, and he's still a lob threat, but his off-the-ball defense is atrocious. And every time a point guard or any kind of guard penetrates into the paint, he is just totally out of the way, out of the paint, just not even contesting. And his motor has really just been his downfall this year. I mean, the athleticism is still clearly there, and I'm kind of hoping that when he resigns, we can kind of just say, hey, listen, man, Kevin Durant, if he's here, we can say he's here and he's leading the team, and we're not going to suck like we did last year. So if we give you the mid-level exception, can you please play a little harder? Wink, wink. And I'm sure if he resigns and we get Kevin Durant or Kyrie and Kevin or whatever we get, as long as it's a true max player, he will try much harder next year. So I'm not too worried about that at the moment, but we will see as the year goes on and into next year if we do resign him. Vonleh looked alright tonight. I mean, he still is going through his shooting woes, but his defensive tenacity definitely brought some to the game. Knox, once again, starts out well, shoots 3 for 6. I think he had about 7 points, and finishes 5 for 16, meaning he went 2 for 10 after the second quarter. So Knox has to work on his cardio and consistency clearly. One big problem, though, has to be that no one ever starts the game out well, besides Kevin Knox, of course. And our defensive consistency never really shows up until the second half. And that is a little bit worrying. It shows spirit, but it also shows that we shouldn't ever be in this hole in the first place. If everyone besides, Kevin Knox plays with that intensity that they bring in the second half, we'd have a couple wins instead of these BS moral victories we've been piling up all season. To be honest with you guys, I would love a DSJ, Kadeem, Frank, Knox, Mitch starting lineup. I understand 3 guards may not be the best lineup, but Frank can guard 1 through 3, and I don't honestly think we've experimented enough with him at the 3. Also, Frank might be our best passer on top of defender, remember that. Kadeem is technically labeled a shooting guard, not a point guard, actually, even though he has been playing point guard for us and point guard on the G League team. He is labeled as a shooting guard, has actually been playing shooting guard majority of his life. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I want to slide him next to DSJ, because DSJ can, keep a pace to the game, obviously get buckets, and he really has been getting Knox involved and Mitch involved. I see DSJ is still learning Knox's spots and where he likes to catch the ball before shot, and not many people that don't play basketball will understand that, but he's many times getting him open looks and lobbing it to Mitch well into only 5 games. And I don't know, does anybody disagree? Does that look like it could be our best lineup? DSJ, Kadeem, Frank, Knox, and Mitch? It could be our best defensive lineup without kicking Knox at the starting lineup, in my opinion. Or we could switch, Frank for Vonleh, move Knox to the 3 and Vonleh to the 4. And yeah, just let me know in the comments, guys. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and I'm out.